The funny thing about showing you behind the scenes of the gallery is that 90% of the content is just me cutting wood. So you'd be glad to know I bought a circular saw to spice things up a bit. Now the biggest difference between install and deinstall is speed. The second biggest difference is that I'm always doing the latter on my own. Okay, so I didn't film the whole deinstall, but it's basically the install in reverse, which you can watch up here. But here's some snippets. I thought that the quickest way to get the charcoal drawings off the wall would be to wash them first. That way I wouldn't be mixing the charcoal dust with the fresh paint. Vigorous sponge action only here. I then painted over what was still left on the walls. Great. Before I forget, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell to get notified about new projects. I did, however, want to show you a couple of new additions to the gallery. So the first thing is a bit of a film-specific one, a top-down camera rig. For this, I first installed two unistrut beams, either side of the table, both at exactly 40 centimeters up. A quick brush up, then I measured the distance between the two beams, more accurately than this. I cut a piece of cable tray beam to the same length, and then slotted a couple of pieces of plywood at either end of the tray. Fixed these in place, and then drilled a pilot hole bang in the centre at the end of the plywood. I then used 3 channel nuts, 2 horizontally as a guide, and the end one vertically, to lock into the unistrut channel. I just screwed these in, but there's probably a more elegant way to do this. I can then use any mini tripod or 1/4" screw to attach to the cable channel, and since these channels have so many holes, you can basically fix the camera anywhere. Next on the upgrades list was a second desk space. I'd realised when we were installing the last show that a second desk in the office area would be kinda handy. For instance, to keep electrics away from liquids, or be able to sort camera gear while someone else is sorting tools. So here's the part where I put my box fresh circular saw to use. I cut 2 pieces of 12mm plywood to the same size, then basically joined them together with screws. For this desk, I wanted it to fold away when it was not in use, so using a couple of old hinges that I'd buffed up, I attached them first to the plywood and then to the wall. I'll probably brace this desk in the future with some rope, but I didn't get around to that yet. Then, to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, I decided to take some of Rebecca's work back down to London on the train, which is a great excuse to also see some shows. So I don't know if this was just because I haven't seen shows in a while, but some of this stuff was just amazing. First up was the RA School show. I love this work by Liv Preston, where she'd basically taken up the studio floor in such a precise and meticulous way. I thought Io's installation and accompanying film was beautifully composed. I particularly love these delicately layered photographs. Paul Barlow's paintings are just insanely technical, even though they feel so simple. Jenkins' film was on a whole other level of production quality and storytelling, and the accompanying installation was like peering into an eerie miniature world. For me though, the standout work was this installation from Clara. Like, I don't know how the hell these things work, but it was mind-blowingly amazing. Long story short, this fish, when it swims up to the top of the tank, triggers a sensor, which sets off the whole installation. And from then, controlled chaos basically explodes into action. Later that day I took a jaunt up to the Florence Trust in Islington to see a group show pulled together by Joe Moss. This work by Suzanne Jacobs was just exquisite. A sushi bar of bricks, warmed by heat lamps and occasionally sprayed with basil water, which then evaporated. And I also got to see this artwork by Gabriel Birch and some new surroundings that we first showed back in 2017.